Here with sophomore defensive back Brandon Mack, finished tonight with 5 tackles, an interception for 28 yards, a breakup, and a quarterback hurry. Coming into this game, it's an opportunity for us to take over sole possession of second place in the North Division. You guys probably knew that coming into tonight. Talk about the defense. You guys really stepped up. 12 tackles for loss tonight, but y'all, blitzed at the right time tonight, got your hands on a lot of deflected balls at the right time. So just talk about your defense as a whole tonight, man.
Well, Coach Parker, he told us in practice he wanted to run some of the blitzes, and we picked them up pretty good in practice. So he said that they're going to contribute to the game. When we got in the game, we ran the blitzes and we executed them.
Yeah, the second half, we only allowed 67 yards in the first half. We came out in the second half and made some big plays defensively too. But, it seems like we blitzed at the right time every time. Talk about that.
Well, we always tried to blitz in the boundary, and sometimes, like when they get third in a long distance, coach would call it a little blitz, and the corners would be back off. And then that helped us a lot because we could see what the quarterback going with the ball. So when the blitz got there, the quarterback throw it up, and DB just try to make a play on the ball.
Well, you don't really finish very often too much in the stat sheet with many stats because guys don't throw to your side very often. And that's what people need to understand, that when you don't really have a lot of big-time stats because usually they don't throw it to your side of the field. But tonight you pick up 5 tackles. How do you feel like, brag on yourself a little bit? You're one of the better corners in this league. Just talk about what your mentality is coming at each snap.
My mentality is I got to make this play if it comes to me because I know I'm not going to get that many snaps. I feel like I'm a little underrated, so I try to make the best of every play that comes to me. Try to get my hand on balls that's in the air and try to get tackles in the backfield if it comes to the outside. Just try to make plays for my team.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You're a Division I talent here at Northwest this year. We're 3-1 now in the North Division. If we take care of business against Kahoma, we're going to the playoffs this year. What would that mean to you after a disappointing year last year? 1-8. What would that mean to get in the playoffs this year and have a chance to make a run?
It would mean a lot. That's the only reason I came here. I know Northwest is a good program, and to get back in the playoff and keep the tradition going, it mean a lot for the team and for the freshmen to come back next year and hopefully have a great season.
Well, we got East Mississippi coming into town, #1 team in the country. They've won 18 straight games. What kind of challenge is that going to be for us next week?
It's going to be a big challenge. It's just really on the DBs. If the DBs come out and play good, get some of the balls out the air, get a couple turnovers, I think we're going to do pretty good.
Well, congrats on a good effort tonight. Ranger win 23-14. Good luck next week against East Mississippi.
Appreciate it.
Here with sophomore quarterback Kyle Morgan, making your second career start tonight against Mississippi Delta. You finished 8 of 13, 217 yards, and also a rushing touchdown that put the game away late from 1 yard out. You didn't know until a couple weeks ago that you're going to be the starting quarterback when Carson went down. But just talk about maybe your nerves and how you feel like you can control the offense the last couple weeks.
I was nervous the first part, the first game last week, but they quickly went away the first snaps. But and then I felt like I was controlling, and I felt like I was bringing everybody up and keeping their morale up. And I just felt like I did pretty good with them.
Well, it seems like a couple of the plays you can just dump it off to Justin Crawford and let him do the work. Talk about what kind of player that kid is.
He's crazy. Definitely see him leaving. I know he probably wants to leave in December, but I can see him going big places.
Coming into this game, we had an opportunity to kind of control our own destiny. We're 3-1 now in the North Division. We're going to need a little bit of help. If Itawamba can knock off Northeast, then we got Kahoma in a couple weeks. But, you get the #1 team in the country now. Coming up East Mississippi, a huge challenge. A team that's won 18 straight games. What can we do next week against East Mississippi?
Just think of it as another team. That it's just not East Mississippi. They just have the name. And once they hear the name, everybody's scared. But if we go in with the thought of that it's just another team, we could either stay with them or we could compete with them and might beat them.
Well, I know your mom was here in the crowd tonight. I know your sister actually sent out a tweet earlier. But, you mentioned the nerves. But did you think that, you've been the backup quarterback here at Northwest for a while, but when you found out 2 weeks ago when we were playing Holmes that you were going to get that first start, what's the first thing that went through your mind?
Well, first thing that went through my mind when Carson got hit during the Itawamba game. I was like, all right, I'm about to go in. I got to get all the nerves out. I got to do what I do best, and I make mistakes, but I have the offense to back me up. I have the defense to back me up.
Well, you've managed the offense well the last couple of weeks. Like I said, you limited the mistakes. A couple of bad snaps, but that's it's not on you. Got to work those kinks out for next week. But now we have a couple games left in the season. Tough season last year. What would it mean to go to the playoffs this year if we can take care of business against Kahoma in the last game of the season?
I've actually never been to the playoffs in my football career, even in high school. So it would mean a lot. And after last year, I know some of the sophomores want to go far. And Mississippi Gulf Coast, right?
Most likely, yeah.
And
most likely.
I know we want revenge on them the way they beat us last time.
Well, you're a local kid, not too far from here, about 25 minutes. Got a lot of fans back at DeSoto Central. Anything you want to say to them? I know DC Jaguar football is always keeping a close eye on you. Anything you want to say to them?
Shout out to DC football. Hoping they'll beat OB tonight because absolutely hate them. That's all I got.
All right. Congrats, Kyle.
Thank you.
Rangers get the win tonight, 23-14. Good luck next week.
Thank you.